Good afternoon. We are taking a look at the procession for Corporal Blake Reynolds. He is the Delaware County Sheriff's deputy that was killed early this morning while assisting a stranded driver along I-69. That procession ended just moments ago. Thanks for joining us today at noon. I'm Anne Marie Tiernan, and we have been following this breaking news story all day long. We do know that that crash happened along northbound I-69 at the 274 mile marker near Gaston around 3:45 this morning. Our Marina Silva has been following the story ever since it broke today, and she joins us now with the very latest information. Marina.
Well, Anne Marie, it's very tragic and somber here in Delaware County. As you just said, the processional just finished a few moments ago. And here at the Community Justice Center, they're going to be bringing out a sheriff's deputy vehicle to use as a memorial for Corporal Blake Reynolds. Now, I want to show you the scene from earlier today. Corporal Blake Reynolds was killed in a traffic crash on I-69. He was helping a stalled semi-truck when another semi lost control and it ended in a train reaction. Reynolds was taken to Ball Memorial, where he later died. The other driver is at another hospital. We were last told he was in surgery. Sergeant Scott Keegan is calling this tragic.
It's a danger that always comes with our job being out on the interstate. So, you know, it's just one of the, we were trained for it, but tragedies happen, and that's the case what we have today.
The community can pray for the family, for the Reynolds family. It's devastating to them, and it's devastating to the deputies that work with him, and people don't understand that we're with each other. We're with our department and the people we work with more than we are our own family sometimes, and you get to become family. So we just ask the community just to pray for the Reynolds family and pray for the department.
And that was Chief Deputy Jeff Stanley, who knows and works with Corporal Reynolds, and he was just echoing the admiration. He was all admiration for him. Now, this video that you're seeing is from the processional just moments ago as law enforcement lined University Avenue for a processional to escort Corporal Keegan from Ball Memorial to Meeks Mortuary. Keegan is a 4-year veteran of the department. He moved up the leadership ranks fast, making his way to corporal less than a year ago. He was also recently married this last June. And as we asked Chief Deputy Stanley, what can the community do? He just asked everybody pray for the department.
All right, Marina Silva reporting live for us today. Just a very tragic situation for that entire community, and certainly our condolences are extended to everyone involved. And our coverage will continue throughout the afternoon. You can find all of our updates right here on air and online at WTHR.com. To other news making headlines right now, the trial is underway today in Hendricks County. This is for the Missouri man charged with the murder of an Indiana State Trooper. His name is Eddie Jones, and we were there as he entered the Hendricks County Courthouse this morning. He's there wearing the red shirt and the tie. It was in June of 2023 that Jones was behind the wheel of a car that he stole from his mother in Missouri. He led police on a high-speed chase on the west side of Indianapolis into Hendricks County. Indiana State Trooper Aaron Smith was deploying stop sticks when he was hit by that car and killed. The prosecutor now is seeking a life sentence without parole. The defense in the case is arguing this is not murder because Jones slammed on his brakes and tried to avoid hitting Smith. Also right now, we are monitoring a shooting investigation on the east side of Indianapolis. Metro Police tell us it happened just after 8 this morning on Windsor Drive near 21st and Arlington. Officers say when they arrived, they found a man there shot. That man went to the hospital in critical condition. Right now, we are working to learn what led up to this incident and if police have a suspect or motive in the case. A developing story now, turning to these lingering questions now about why charges so far not filed in the death of a cleaning crew worker last week who was killed in Whitestown. We're told it still could be days before a decision is made in this case. The Boone County Prosecutor's Office says there are unique circumstances, specifically when you consider Indiana's stand your ground law. We wanted to learn more about that. So we spoke with a defense attorney who told us to understand this and to understand the complexities, there really are three major prongs to consider if the shooter could face charges. So first, a person must be in a place that they have a right to be, like their home. Second, they can't be committing or fleeing from a crime or be the initial aggressor. And third, the person claiming self-defense has to believe their use of deadly force was, quote, reasonable. Our 13 News legal expert, Katie Lindsay Jackson, tells us that reasonable aspect is what is most important. And to prevail, the prosecutor must prove the person who used force did not act reasonably.
It gets a little bit gray where a person is in a situation like this and they're forced to make a decision, a snap-second decision in the moment as to whether or not that level of force is necessary.
She went on to say little details like if someone was ringing the doorbell or maybe jiggling the handle. Those details can make all the difference. We're going to be checking in with the prosecutor's office as we continue to monitor a decision on whether or not to file charges in this case. Switching gears now to a more pleasant weather day. So far, the best of the week. Sean is here. We've got temperatures in the 50s. The sun is out. The sky is blue. Not bad. Well done.
I know your threshold is 70.
Yes, it is.
But if we're 2 days removed from
20s and
snowfall,
30s.
Yeah.
50's not so bad.
And we may be close to 60 before this thing is over today, so it really is nice. Breezy, yes, but that breeze is what's helping warm us up. And look at the sunshine we have. Yeah, it's nice to see. Just some wispy cirrus clouds, and that will be it for today. Otherwise, we will focus on temperatures and that wind that we talked about from the west here. At about 20 miles per hour, we'll have some gust at 30. So again, I know it's a breezy day, but if you're not a fan of the cold we've had the last couple, this is right up in your wheelhouse here, about 15 to 20 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Clean sweep on radar, very little left behind from the snowfall. You can see some there in northeastern Illinois, 56 already, Terre Haute, Double Nichols, and Bloomington. We are expecting highs to come close, if not go above 60 degrees. In fact, maybe well above it in some parts of western and southwestern Indiana. Please enjoy. Great day. Warmer, breezy, near 64 today. This is not the warmest in the 7-day forecast. I'll have that timeline and our next chance of rain ahead in the 7-day outlook.
Thank you, Sean. A lecturer at IU was removed from one of her classes in Bloomington over a complaint about one of her lessons. Jessica Adams says it was this graphic that was used in one of her classes this semester that led to the complaint. It's known as the pyramid of white supremacy, categorizing phrases as socially acceptable or unacceptable forms of racism. Adams is a social worker lecturer, and she says that there was a student who was in her master's class that accused her of equating Making America Great Again with police killings of people of color as similar forms of white supremacy. However, we did talk to one of her students who is denying that claim.
None of these things were mentioned at all. We don't feel that that's what is being said in these slides.
So again, that lecturer is Jessica Adams, and she was not able to talk with us on camera. She still teaches 3 other classes at Indiana University. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is in Indiana headlining the Northeast Indiana Defense Summit. That's in Allen County in the Fort Wayne area. He's joined by the Secretary of the Navy as well as Indiana Senator Jim Banks and other leaders. This is happening at Purdue University, Fort Wayne. We are expecting to learn more details from this visit. We'll bring you coverage as our news continues today. Soon you may get a text, and it might be asking you to support congressional redistricting in Indiana. If so, it's part of a 6-figure campaign to get undecided lawmakers to support redrawing Indiana's voting maps. A group that's called Fair Maps Indiana is behind this push. It's led by a group with deep ties to the president who also helped with his election campaigns. Part of this includes texting constituents, urging them to sign a petition in support of redistricting and urging them to call their senator.
You know, for decades, we feel that these maps have been drawn at a disadvantage to Republicans in the House. This is an attempt to level the playing field, and we're committed and locked in through the special session and do our part to help, and hopefully the Senate does the right thing and votes to to redraw our lines.
Lawmakers will consider redrawing the state's congressional districts next month. This would be a chance to shore up GOP seats in the 2026 midterm elections. And it comes months of pressure that have been coming from the White House to do just that. But there are those who are against this idea, and they signed petitions of their own. Senate leaders indicated a few weeks ago they don't have enough votes yet.